Hey, welcome to another edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. Hope you enjoyed your holidays, and I hope you enjoyed our coverage of the Metro Championships. Now, we're filming this before the Metro Championships, but you won't see it until after the Metro Championships. So here's what I'm going to do, Josh. I'm going to congratulate the two teams that I think won the Metro Championships. And then when this airs, we'll all see how right I was, or wrong. So congratulations to the West Mesa girls on a three-peat. Something that hasn't been done ever. Not even those good El Dorado teams. None of those teams have ever three-peated. Congratulations to the West Mesa girls. And congratulations to Greg Brown and his Hawks for winning the Metro Championship. Volcano Vista, that's a team to watch out for. So we'll see how those predictions go. I'm going to update you on some previous guests. Of course, San Diego State just played in a bowl game. It wasn't a good game for the Aztecs. They lost 27-0, but Jordan Bird got in. He carried 3 yards, and Keyshawn Banks was done with his concussion protocol and whatnot. He got back in there, and he had a tackle in that game. Edemiah Brown, the Florida State situation there, they're down a player, so the rotation's a little tighter. She's getting to play even more. They had a big victory against Milwaukee before the break, where she had a nice game, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, I believe it was, in about 12 minutes of action. So that's a pretty good stat line in a short time. Any other previous guests, if you have any stat lines, I'd love to mention them. Just send them to us on Twitter. But right now, I want to welcome my guest this week, and that's West Mesa's Camren Schroer. Camren, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So, believe it or not, we try to be educational on this show and try to bring out some things that, hopefully younger athletes can learn from. And so the two topics I want to talk about in depth today is, one, what it's like to play for your dad. Because if you think about the landscape in the city, it happens a lot.
Yeah. So,
I'm just off the top of my head, I can think of Gerard Pineda and his son Jack, baseball, William Benjamin and his son Deuce. There's a ton. I mean, those are the two that kind of jump out at me at the moment. And then I want to talk about the injury and what it's like to go through rehab. But let's hit the family stuff first. So what is it like to grow up in a family that's so tied into high school athletics, from your grandpa to your dad?
I mean, everyone acts like it's a big deal playing for your dad, like you're going to get yelled at and all that, but it's just playing for another coach like you have in the past. Other than that, nothing's different.
I mean, so when you were young, did you always know, okay, well, I'm going to be playing these sports, my dad's probably going to be my coach, or is that not something you ever thought about, or how did that go when you were young?
Actually, when I was younger, West Mesa was never my first option. I was always, I'm going to go to Cleveland, play over there. But at the beginning of my freshman year, during the summer, they actually transferred me, telling me I was going to play for my dad at West Mesa.
Okay, so, and had you played for your dad before? Like, some parents coach AAU and things like that?
No, never before. I always played on a rear round tour Cleveland team where he didn't want anything involved in that.
So what sports growing up other than basketball?
Football, baseball, golf a little bit. Other than that, nothing else.
So what's that dynamic like? I mean, when does coach become coach, and when does dad become dad, and when do those stop, and when do those mix, and how does that dynamic work?
You're just on the court, and that's about it. Is coach, everywhere else is dad. Just keeping basketball, family.
And have you talked to other players that maybe deal with the same thing, or has that ever come up?
Not really.
No,
nobody else.
I remember I think it was last week, Josh, when we were doing a game for Las Cruces, and Coach Benjamin, he sent us a message, said, "Hey man, can I get this highlight of this interview you guys did with Deuce?" And he said, "Man, right now I'm so busy coaching him, I'm missing all the dad moments. I didn't realize until afterwards that was his first player of the game, that was his first." So, like, does that ever happen? I mean, is it difficult at times, or is it pretty easy?
No, he's mostly there for all the games of all I've played. This year's the first year I've missed a game throughout my life since his injury. Other than that, he's always been there.
And so, advice for younger players, if they're going to be playing for their dad, what do you need to do on the player side to make that a successful relationship?
Don't talk back. Act like a normal player. Don't disrespect anybody like you wouldn't want to be disrespected.
Now, your dad's pretty intense on the sideline.
Yeah.
So, and I remember the funniest story I remember is actually when your brother played. And I remember, and your brother's pretty good, but I remember he got pulled out once, and Sean said that when he pulled him out, in the way only Sean could say is, "Only your grandparents are here to see you. Pass the ball."
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Were you ever, when you were a freshman, did you like, oh man, this is going to be pretty insane? Or, I mean, what were your thoughts before?
I knew there's been points where I was going to get yelled at and he was going to get in my face like that, but I just never let it bother me.
And so, how much does it hurt this year with the injury? That obviously your senior years take it away.
Oh yeah, it was tough for me when I first found it out. It took me a week, 2 weeks just to get over the fact that I'm missing the rest of the football season and then senior year of basketball's gone.
Was it more frustrating that, first of all, do you have a preference, football or basketball?
I'd rather play basketball.
Right. So I kind of thought that's what you would say. So was it frustrating that it happened in football? Were you frustrated? I mean, what did Coach Schroer say? I mean, what was that like?
When we first found out, I kind of it didn't seem real. Like it was just a dream, and I didn't think this would happen. So like my dad thought the same thing, and everybody that around me, like it shouldn't have happened to me. Why'd it happen to me? But it happened for a reason, so I'm just gonna deal with it.
And take us through that night. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Dorian last week, and that 24-hour period. Dorian talked about, in his mind, he's thinking about all these college things, and there was a lot of, it was an emotional night. But what was that 24-hour period like?
It was rough. I mean, I got hurt previously in that game, and I brought it together. I got back in, and the first time it didn't hurt as bad, but the second time I made that cut, and it didn't feel right. Like Dorian said, it just didn't feel right. So as soon as that happened, my basketball season's gone. There's a possibility I'm not playing the rest of the year. Just the recovery process is going to take forever.
Right. Well, we're going to take our first time out, pay some bills here, and then we'll get into that recovery process after this.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
High school sports are back. The 2018-19 season kicks off, and you could watch every Proview Network broadcast live on the NFHS network. Every moment, from every game, from every sport, including all NMAA state championships. Get your highly discounted monthly pass now. Go to ProviewNetworks.com and sign up. Watch New Mexico's best. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Dream Style Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dream Style Remodeling is family owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamStyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
We're back with West Mesa's Camren Schroer. We left off talking about the injury, and so take us through that rehab. What first of all, when you first get word, what do they lay out for you as far as the rehab process?
Just at the first couple months, it's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna have any movement in my leg. I mean, I tore my meniscus also, so I was in a straight brace for about a month and a half, no movement, no pressure on it. And then after that, it's constant range of motion, getting my legs stronger, getting back to walking and all that.
So really, I mean, it's not just that you're not playing basketball, but that first month's got to be just a total.
Oh yeah.
I mean, talk about how the effects it had just day to day going to school and stuff.
Right after surgery that week, I was in bed constant, no movement. I was staying in bed all day. I went back the week after, and it was my first time using crutches, so using those I got tired, and then going up and down stairs took forever, going class to class. It was a rough process.
They couldn't get you like a little hoverboard at West Mesa, or
I wish.
No, man, I thought you'd have some pull there. So, basketball season obviously in the middle of the season now. By the time this show is airing, and your development as a player, I thought pretty interesting. That I mean, you really became a leader of the team, right? I think we had this talk before, where you're kind of the toughness of the team. I don't really know where it happened. When did it happen where you just kind of became this guy on the court that wasn't going to take anything from anybody, and you're the first one there to maybe throw a shove or an elbow? When did that happen?
I can't really tell you. It just came throughout the season. Like my sophomore year, I didn't play any varsity for basketball, and then junior year, I stepped up, played my role, and kind of figured out that I was a tough guy on the court. I was there for everybody, talking that mess, the here and there, and standing up.
And so, how hard is that to know that hey, you're going to be not only probably the starting point guard on the team, but the team's enforcer, right, and the team's backbone, and that's got to be tough. Talk about that.
It was rough when I first found out, just knowing that we previously lost Anthony Flores, who moved out of town, so he wasn't there, and then Makai, who's obviously ineligible for transfer, so there was no backbone to the team besides me. So I figured out that I was going to be the backbone there, and then I found out I was hurt, and I was done from there.
How good would this basketball team be with you on it, do you think?
With me, we'd have more defense and more leadership vocal out there, so it'd be a little bit different, but I think we'd be in the same boat we are right now.
So when you see a guy, you see Eloy Medina out there, obviously, I mean, he's shooting close to 50% in the field, but he's got 2-3 guys on him a night. What's going through your mind on the bench, knowing that, man, if there's another option out there, someone that can take some pressure off, right?
Oh, it's a different story. Every team's double teamed every game. We've seen it every time. With me out there, it's another person to score, handle the ball, take some pressure off of Eloy, where he can score more points with less people on him.
So, if you look forward, what do you anticipate senior night being like? I mean, in your mind, I mean, is it more of a sadness or of an anger that hey, your senior year with your dad is going to be spent on the sideline? What do you think that's going to be like?
It'll be more mixed emotions. I'm obviously going to be hurt. I'm not going to be playing with my team. I'm not going to be playing for my dad for my last year. I'm going to be hurt that I didn't stay out like I should have in that game and stayed healthy, but it'll be a good night.
All right, so I want to get a good story in now. What's the craziest, funniest story involving Coach Schroer? You can tell me. Practice, game, otherwise.
We were in Valley. It was I think it was district tournament time, and we were down by 5, and I already had 4 fouls, and I went to foul Anthony just to foul out, get the clock stopped. And I guess it was an intentional foul, and I didn't recognize that until I sat down, and he came to my face and got in my face like he did with Zach, and just started yelling. I just sat there and just took it like it was whatever.
Now, anything you can repeat on this TV program?
Yeah, probably not.
What are some of the difficulties that you've run into about that? Now, here's an example that someone else has brought up to me, another coach's son that I won't mention the name, but teammates. Sometimes, things aren't going just a teammate's way, and maybe their first inclination is to complain about playing time. Or, so obviously they can't come to you with that noise, but have you ever heard that? I mean, what do you do when something like that happens?
Oh, there's players that always complain. They'll talk mess about him behind his back. It's whatever. It's a player talking bad about a coach. All players do it.
Right.
There's always that one thing you don't like.
So does that put you in a tough spot? Because I remember that the other player that I talked to said, yeah, it was kind of weird the first time someone complained about their playing time. And usually you'd be like, yeah, but it was different for him because it's like, well, wait a minute, that's my dad.
I mean, yeah, you can't agree with them, but then it's their problem that they're not getting the playing time.
Right.
Like they need to do something else, so you can't really agree or disagree with them.
So football, basketball, what's going to stand out as your highlights in both of them during your time at West Mesa? Let's do football first.
Probably scoring last year my first 2 touchdowns against Del Norte in my first varsity game. And then for basketball, I'd say the game at Albuquerque High when I probably had 15 points, I think, shooting 3 from 5 from the three-point line. That's probably my best game I had last year, so probably that.
All right, we're going to take our final time out here. When we come back with Camren, we'll talk about what's next and maybe a preview on the rest of the season. Who does he think is going to lift the blue at the end of the season?
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan-favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but 2 great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green
and keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Welcome back to Local Focus. By the way, if you have a show idea for Local Focus, you can tweet at us at Proview TV or at Sebastian Noel 47. Whether it be an interesting story, like we had early in the year with Colin Evans and his brother during that fire rescue, whether it just be a news-making event or a news-making player. You know, we had Dorian Lewis and DeAndre Williams after the football championship on. But I'd love to tell that story. I'd love to have you in the studio here in Albuquerque as a guest. So you can tweet at us with any show idea, and we'd love to pursue that. We're back now with Camren Schroer of West Mesa High School. Let's do a little season preview of the rest of, or I shouldn't say season preview, mid-season preview. I mean, how do you see this basketball season shaking out the rest of the way? You've seen most teams, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I've seen most of them.
You had a top 4. In what order would you rank a top 4?
Top 4, I would say Volcano, Cleveland, Hobbs, and probably El Dorado.
Okay. Now, Hobbs kind of surprises me. So that's a strong team. Now, you guys are going to Hobbs, right?
Yeah,
so
we're going to Hobbs.
That's got to be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Have you been to Tasker Arena before? No,
Never.
so you've never been. Okay. All right. So what do you see in the champion? Who do you see in the championship? What do you see shaking out there?
I see Cleveland being in it, and then I'm not sure who else is down there, but I could see us being down there playing that championship.
What about that? I got to ask you, since we're talking about the pit and the championship, that crazy ending in the El Dorado Cleveland game.
Oh, I saw that live. It should.
Okay, where were you? Yeah. Okay, you saw it live. So where were you?
I was close to, like, right behind the benches when I saw it.
Okay.
Shot.
And so what? First of all, what did you see? What went through your mind?
I was in shock. Everybody knew it was like it shouldn't have counted.
Right.
But they counted it, and everyone was just, what the heck?
Yeah.
It went in.
And so were you one of those guys that was rooting against Cleveland the next day?
No.
No. Because they had a lot. I mean, they had all of a sudden
Atrisco
got a bunch of extra fans.
Yeah.
But that's a district rival, so that would be tough for you to root for Atrisco, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, now, who are the toughest guys you've gone against in your high school career? If you had a top 3 list there, or a top 5 even.
Anthony Chavez for sure.
Right.
Probably Amir from Cleveland, and probably Marlon.
Well, now you always had some pretty good matchups with Marlon.
Oh yeah.
And you're a lot smaller than Marlon.
A lot smaller than Marlon.
But you occupied some space up here with Marlon, didn't you?
Yeah.
So what was your strategy going into a game against Marlon?
I kind of already knew he wasn't weak, but you could get in his head and kind of mess with them, and it was kind of just my game plan throughout the year, just to get in the people's heads and kind of mess with them throughout the game.
And now with him, that usually worked, right? I mean,
yeah.
I think it was the game at West Mesa that he fouled out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So what's next for you?
Right now, I'm focused on school, rehabbing, and after school, I'm gonna go to UNM and just study, go to school.
And what's the plan there? What do you plan on studying at UNM?
Biochemistry, become a pharmacist.
Okay. Now, I want to finish up on this rehab thing some more because I think, so many kids go through this, especially here in New Mexico. So take us through your rehab now. So you're, 2 months post-op?
2 months out.
Yep. 2 months out. Okay, so what does your rehab look like now?
Right now, it's strengthening my quad, making my knee flexible again. I don't have the range of motion I did before due to just it being stiff for a month and a half. So I'm working on bending my knee and strengthening all that.
So you said at school, you do what now?
Just weights, using a lot of weight to force my knee to bend and just strengthening my quad, squats.
And then away from there, how often are you going through physical therapy and stuff?
About every 1 to 2 weeks, I go twice, and it's more work there than it is at school.
Okay. And now, you had a pretty good resume in football as well. So, Camren, the basketball player, is what we know. But,
yeah.
I mean, how many positions did you play at West Mesa?
Last year, I played 3 or 4. This year, I played about 4 or 5.
Right. So you started, if I remember correctly, I think you started in the secondary last year, right?
Last year, I started in secondary and as a receiver.
Okay.
And I worked my way up to playing tight end, quarterback, a little bit of outside linebacker.
And then just for fun, you're like, oh, let me just be all Metro kicker.
Like, that was never meant to
How
happen.
did that come about?
We didn't have a punter at school, so I tried it out.
No, and
I just tried it out, and it happened.
Did Coach McMaster's like, hey, you want to try this?
Yeah, basically.
And you took to it right away? You were good right away, or
I wasn't good at it
how
right
much
away.
practice did that take?
I practiced after practice every day, just getting punched down, just working on it, and then it kind of just came to me that this is something I like to do.
So, and then obviously quarterbacking your senior year. So do you have a preference there? I mean, I would think maybe quarterback, but what do I know? But what was the position preference there?
This year, actually, I was starting at receiver. I was our #1 receiver, and then our quarterback actually got hurt, so I moved to quarterback and just played throughout the season there.
So you're Superman when it comes to football, right? Whatever kicking, we'll do, and then basketball, kind of the same thing. Oh, by the way, I'm a guard, but go guard Marlon.
Yeah,
so
I was kind of one of the bigger starting guys.
Right? I mean, how does that happen?
I don't know. Honestly, I did what I had to do to help the team win, and just played my position.
All right, man. Well, good luck with the rest of your recovery. It's obviously, I mean, on a personal note, I'm the PA announcer at West Mesa, and it sucks not having you on the floor.
Yeah.
But good luck the rest of the way, and good luck at UNM, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.